Hello, this is a tutorial on how to solve the x-cube. My name is Dane Christensen, I'm the inventor of the x-cube. In this part 1, I'm going to show you how to take the x-cube from a state of deformed madness and restore it into its original shape. And we're going to do this in 3 steps. And for this tutorial, we can ignore all of the colors that we see. We could shoot this video in black and white if we wanted to. Okay, let's get started with a quick introduction. So, to make this process a little bit easier to understand, I've constructed this modified x-cube. Now what is this? This is this, except I've just taken off all of these outside pieces. See how that is? And what I'm left with is the inside of this thing, which is actually what we're trying to solve. This is the puzzle we're trying to solve at this stage, at the very first stage of the x-cube solution. Now what is this? What are we left with? Well, when we take off all these pieces, we're actually left with something very familiar. We're left with the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, except it's even easier than the 3x3 because we have fewer colors to worry about. We've got a lot less to deal with here. Let's take a look at what we got. We have our center pieces. This is our core. These pieces don't move. All these other pieces on here move around it. All these other pieces such as this corner piece, this edge piece, and this edge piece right here. This is another type of edge piece that I'll get into in a second. So what we're trying to do here is this is the shape we're trying to go for. This is going to get messed up, and we want to restore it back to this. Now what is this? Well, let's take a look. If we look at the first layer of this thing, we have 4 corners, 4 edges, and all these white stickers are facing the top. They're all on the top. And then on the next side, we have these four channels. This is where the pieces normally go. The extra pieces rotate around these extended centers. Now, on the second layer, on the middle layer, this one's a little tricky because this is a layer we actually haven't seen before. We have these edge pieces. They don't quite look the same, but they're actually the exact same as these edge pieces, except they have an extra channel carved in them. And what this does is this allows us to put in, this allows the x-cube to hook on to actually hold, 2 edge pieces. We've never seen this piece before because it's always hidden in there. It's this phantom piece that holds these 2 extended cubies. Now, this is where we're going to start with our solution. When this gets jumbled up, we need to get this middle layer, we need to get these dual channel pieces in the very middle because it can't go on the top layer because it doesn't have a sticker. Because we need this side to be all stickered, we need these to be all channels, and we need this to be all stickers. So we know that these pieces have to go in the middle layer. Alright, I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's jumble this thing up and let's start on a solution. So, step 1. Solve the middle layer. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take this back to what we just saw. Here's our top layer. It's got a stickered face. Our middle layer is the one with all the extended center pieces, and we need to get these pieces to be these dual pieces. We need to find all the dual channel black pieces with no sticker and put them there. This is actually easier than you might feel at first. I have no algorithms to show you because really you can do this step completely intuitively and in just a couple of moves. Let me show you. So I need this piece, this dual cut center, this dual cut edge to be in this middle layer. So all I have to do is move it there. I suggest you just try this a couple times. Here we got another edge, and this one has to be right there. So I'm just going to move it into that place. It only took 2 moves. And now that's it. I somehow inadvertently solved the entire center. We got it all back. I suggest you try this. It's simpler than you might think. Let's do it on this one. So this is clearly a little bit different. So what are we looking for here? Well, let's orient ourselves. Here we have a stickered top layer that we know this is going to be our top layer because this center piece right here has a sticker on it. It's not extruded. It's not an extended center piece. And this is our white bottom layer. Now, Let's look around for the pieces that we have to populate the middle layer with. Here's one of them. See this piece with two edge things sticking out? That's this piece. That is the exact same piece as this, except it's just hidden underneath there. So we're looking for pieces with these two edges sticking out. We're not looking for corners with two edges sticking out, no. And we're not looking for edge pieces with only one thing sticking out. No, we're looking for edge pieces with these, where are they? These two extended edge pieces sticking out. And we want to populate the middle layer with this. So let's look around. Alright, so here we have our first edge piece. Let's move this one up to the middle layer. See how I've already done that? This is a very simple process. Let's look for another edge piece that we're looking for. So here's another one. This has to populate this gap in between, in this middle layer right here. So let's move it over there. Now where's our last edge piece? Our last edge piece that we're looking for is right here. See these two? And it's got to go in this slot right here. So in order to do that, I can do that very simply if I just move this out of the way, move this front face down, 3, 4. That's it. I already have this entire middle layer completed. See how there's no breaks in the continuity? And if we look at it head on, we get the X shape. So we're done. We're done with solving our middle layer. After this is actually very simple. Now that we have those pieces in there, all of these pieces are in the right place. They just need to be flipped around. Here's what I mean by that. Let's take a look at this top layer right here. This is made up of pieces that all have stickers on them, but we just need to flip these pieces so that, they actually are stickered facing up. The first thing we're going to do to flip those stickered pieces around is we're actually going to orient the edges. We're going to get all the edges on the top and bottom to have their stickers facing the top. This is the same as getting the cross, getting this cross on the bottom. All stickers. Step number 1. We're going to count the number of edge pieces we need to flip. So let's go in our first layer. There's 1, 2. 2 in the first layer, 1 in the bottom. There's a step in here. If you have an odd number of edge pieces you need to flip, you need to perform this algorithm. You can never have an odd number of edge pieces to flip, which means that one of these pieces that we placed in here earlier must be flipped around. So we're going to perform this algorithm to flip this edge piece around. If you want to see this, just keep a close eye on this one. It's intuitive to derive, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So we're going to hold it with the white on the top, and then we're going to go right, down, and then left, or front, left, up. And what that's done is that's taken this piece and flipped it. And so now we should have an even number, excuse me, of edge pieces to flip around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it like this, okay. So we're going to have two situations. We can flip two edge pieces around at a time to get the cross. The first case that we're left with is flipping an edge piece. We're going to hold the cube with the face that we want to flip around on the top. And then we're going to orient it so that we have one edge piece to flip around in front of us like this, and then the next one is either going to be here or on the opposite side. So hold it with one edge piece that you want to flip in front of you, and then the next one will either be here or here. Sometimes all 4 of them will be flipped around. You'll understand what to do if you get that case. When we have the case where there's one edge piece here and one adjacent to it, we use this algorithm to flip it around. We use one algorithm to flip the pieces. Front, top, right. Now the other way. Top, right, front. We now have the cross. If we have it so that we hold it with our piece that we need to flip in front of us and the other one's opposite us, we just do the mirror of what we just did. For opposite edges, we go front, right, top, front. See what we've done? Now we have that cross there. We have the cross on both sides. let's come back here and let's see how this applies here. Okay, so we have our middle layer. Let's count how many edges we need to flip around. Now, we have pieces sticking out, but we just ignore them, okay? So we see that on this white face we have 1, 2 to flip around. If we flip it around again, we have 1, 2 to flip around. We don't have an odd number, so we don't need to perform that one intermediate algorithm. So we can just skip right ahead and flip these around. We're going to hold it so that one edge piece is towards us, and now we see that the next one is opposite us. So we're going to use the opposite edges algorithm. That's this one right here. And it's going to go front, right, top, front. Okay, great. Let's flip it over to the other side. Let's hold it so that one of these edge pieces is flipped towards us, and then the other one is adjacent. We're going to use the other algorithm, which is actually just the same algorithm in reverse. So if you forget one, you'll always have it. It doesn't matter. We're going to go front, top, right. Now we're going the other way. Top, right, front. We now have the cross on the top and the bottom. And see how close we're getting? We can kind of see something that resembles an X cube here. Okay, great. Let's move on to step 3, the last step towards getting the shape. And that would be orienting the corners. So if we want to flip corners, there's this one particular algorithm that I have. It's very simple to do. I'm going to demonstrate it on the 3x3 because it'll make a little more sense. Now this algorithm you have to repeat. You have to repeat it let me just show you. The algorithm is this. Top left, right down, top right, right up. Left, down, right, up. Now what this has done is, as you can see, is it's rotated this corner once. It's rotated it so that the white is now facing the green, green is now facing orange, orange is now facing white. If I do this again, watch this corner carefully. It's rotated it again. Now we have orange on the green, white on the orange. Let's do it one more time. Okay, so if every time I do that sequence twice, it flips the corner, and every time I do it 6 times, it restores the entire cube back to its original solution. Okay, so how do we use that to rotate corners? Well, let's take a look. Let's do this twice. I can do it pretty fast. Okay, I've done that twice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle out the corner that I'm rotating by rotating the front. I'm going to move a new corner into this upper right position. Now I'm going to go, I did it 4 times. That makes a total of 6. Now if I move it back, I can see that I've just rotated these corners. So we can use that, we can now use this algorithm to simply restore this back. Okay, so how do we do this? Let's hold it so that the first corner we want to rotate is in our upper right. Now let's start using their algorithm. Let's go top left, right down, top right, right up. Let's do it one more time to make it 2. We see that we've now successfully flipped this corner. Let's cycle on to the next one by rotating that front face. Let's keep going the algorithm. We have 4 more sequences to do. Right, top, right, down, up. Top, right, down, up. And after 2, it's not quite there yet. Let's do it 2 more times. Okay. Now we have our corner flipped correctly, and we've done it a total of 6 times. Now we know that we've got it done. Now we only have 1 corner left to rotate. If we do this 6 times, we will never be able to rotate this one corner back. We have to rotate corners in at least two corners in a pair. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over to the other side. All I did was I just took the corner from one side and brought it over to the other. Simple as that. Okay. Let's start with this corner. Let's rotate this corner around. We're going to have to do this once, twice. There we go. Okay, I had to do it 6 times. I messed it up. Okay. So let's do the last layer. Let's get these last 3 pieces rotated around. We're going to hold it so that this corner is in the upper right, and we're going to see it. Okay, so let's do this twice. Top right, left down, right up, left down, right up. It's not rotated correctly. I did it twice. Let's do it twice more. Left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. It is now rotated correctly. I've done this sequence 4 times. I'm going to rotate out. Left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. That was 6 times. Okay, so now I just have 2 pieces left to do. Let's keep going. Left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. I've done it twice. The corner's now oriented correctly with the sticker on the top face. Let's rotate to the next one. Left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. Not oriented correctly. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Our stickers are now oriented correctly. So how does this apply over here? Well, let's just take a look, okay? So I'm going to do this a little faster. We just have to do the sequence. Let's just do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not done yet. Okay, now our corner is oriented correctly. Let's turn the front layer so we get a new corner to rotate in this position. Left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. Let's rotate it again to this last corner. And then left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up. This is correctly flipped. And now we've done it a total of 6 times. So now we just have this entire layer flat. See, it's very simple. All you have to do is go back and do this. Now, there are many shortcuts to do this. This is kind of long, but there are totally faster ways to do this. I suggest you try this one, and then maybe you can find some shortcuts to do it later. That's it. That's the X cube. That's solving the shape. It is as simple as that. I'll come back. See you in the next video for the next part.